I expected this movie to be great, and it was honestly, in my opinion, it was just good. It wasn't great though to the likes of, in my opinion, the Iron Claw. I feel like that movie is a great movie. The whole talk around this movie, The Smashing Machine, is that The Rock is in a transformative performance, everything like that, and he is. He truly does become somebody other than the character that we know to be of The Rock in all his movies. He's the same guy that wears the same tan t-shirt in every movie and he's always in the forest somewhere. He's not this guy at all in this movie, and he does a really good job. Emily Blunt does a good job as well. Ryan Bader, who plays Mark Coleman, does a good job. However, because I know Ryan Bader as the fighter and I've watched him fight for so long, and I also know Mark Coleman as the fighter, it was hard for me to kind of get out of that mindset that Ryan Bader is playing Mark Coleman when I just kept thinking Ryan Bader is Ryan Bader. But for a fighter that, to my knowledge, has never acted before, he did a really good job as well of just being the support system for Mark Kerr. And so with this, it's about the beginning of Mark Kerr's career, like the first couple years. I thought that was gonna be like going into it. I was thinking that was gonna be the first half of the movie, and then the second half of the movie, the last hour, was gonna be the back half of his career. And it wasn't. The whole movie took place over 3 years, and I don't necessarily know if I like that because there's times where it felt like they dragged on one particular time for too long. And there's times where it felt like it cut over a particular time very quickly. And maybe that's just how his career was. Maybe he was just out of the limelight for a minute. And so they kind of had no other choice but to then skip over certain parts. Um, so with this again, though, I think it's very good. I don't think it's great. But I think there is a great movie in there somewhere. I think the acting is great though as well. And Benny Safdie directed it. His brother actually has a movie coming out in the next couple weeks, and they directed Uncut Gems together. So these guys have a pretty good, solid track record as far as movies go. And I'm excited to see where else they can go. In particular, Benny Safdie, who directed this movie, where else he can go in his directing career. He's got The Rock coming back for another project that The Rock has lost like 70 pounds for. So I think instead of the Oscar buzz being for this movie, The Smashing Machine, I want to see if The Rock can, in a way, I don't want to say do it again because it's so hard to get away from what he's used to doing to do this movie in particular, and he does such a good job at it. But it's still in the wheelhouse of combat sports, kind of like his wrestling. He's very familiar with the UFC, so he's not necessarily out of his element, but he like as a person. But he is out of his element in the acting portion of things. But he does a very good job. So I think with the next movie, if he can do all this again, but better from what he's learned in this movie, The Smashing Machine, I think for sure he'll get another Oscar contender. He hasn't been confirmed to get an Oscar for or an Oscar contender for this movie. Although it's granted, I think he deserves it, but I'm more looking forward to his next movie with Benny Safdie. I think these two are going to be a good uh, partner collaboration working in the future. I think The Rock definitely pushed himself to be something different and to do something different in this movie, and he did a really good job. So I give this movie, and also I'm an MMA fan, so I'm naturally going to go into it with kind of a bias, whether it's good or bad or indifferent. So I give The Smashing Machine an 8.5 out of 10.